Hey YouTube, it's your girl Dr. J, and I thought I would come to you guys today to do another video. This is my video haul. So videos are going to be a big part of our homeschool this year, mainly because my kids are getting older, and so they're getting into much higher level work. Like Speedster is actually going to be doing both fourth and fifth grade this school year, and so we're getting into much higher level work, but I didn't want their learning to be held back by their dyslexia, and so we're going to be doing a lot of videos and audiobooks. My children learn very well with those formats, so we're just going to keep it moving. One thing, like I got this is Standard Deviance, Learn Writing Basics, and it's the general characteristics of college writing. I got that because even though he's dyslexic, he is brilliant when it comes to grammar, and so I want to keep that progress going. He actually takes an online class with a instructor, and he's doing amazing at class. He always gets high honors in it, but it's kind of moving at a more traditional pace, and he's ready to go forward. So I want to keep him in the class, but we're going to be working on our own stuff. Also, he's going to be using for the first time. He's using both speech to text and text to speech software. So I wanted to give him some writing components so that as he tests out and gets much more comfortable with his accommodation technology, he keeps that good grammar going with it as well. So grammar is always something that's in his mind, because when you use speech to text software, you have to actually speak the grammar. So you have to say comma, semicolon, period, question mark, end paragraph, begin new paragraph, indent. So you have to be cognizant of saying those words, and so keeping grammar at the forefront of his mind really helps with that. So got this. Also, you guys know I haven't done a lot of history with the kids, but they're going to be doing a lot of geography. So we're just going to combine geography with history whenever possible. The Wonder Twins are actually going to be doing U.S. geography, so their history will be combined with their geography this year to a large extent. Speedster is doing world geography, and his course is already designed for high school students, and so he's already in a really challenging geography course. So he's going to be doing a history a little bit separately, but it's still kind of going to be more of a survey of history course. And so I got some things that I thought would help with that. I got this. This is the Kids Animated History with Pippo, and it is it's for ages 7 through 12. So it's in Speedster's kind of category, and it's 6 discs over 5.5 hours, and it covers Rome, Greece, Celtic Vikings, India, Mesopotamia, Carolingian, Byzantine, Islam, Egypt, Persians, Hebrews, Aztecs, Mayans, Incas, China, and Japan. So I thought this would be a great way to kind of do a survey of history for him. And also he's going to be doing some reports in his interactive notebook using graphic organizers from the Who Was and What Was series. He's going to be using them as audiobooks. And so he's going to be, so I thought that would be a good combination with those Who Was and What Was books for him to have a kind of a survey of history. Now, I don't recommend this to anybody, but if y'all are like our household and a bunch of cynics, we got Horrible Histories as well, of the BBC series. I got the whole series. So this is seasons 1 through 3, and then season 4, which is the only ones that are available. And so it's just kind of like sketch comedy, and it tells you all the terrible things about history in a fun and interesting way. And so, I got these to kind of complement each other, because this one, it kind of, I read the reviews, and it pretty much gives that really glossy, kind of sugar-coated introduction to history. Whereas this gives that very cynical, very, I guess, looking at the the worst of humanity sort of thing. And I figured if we put that in there together, he could do some really good critical analysis, and he'd be able to have some depth to his graphic organizers, because he's going to be doing like maybe 1 or 2 traditional papers using his accommodation technology. But I really wanted him to show kind of all the stuff that he's doing with history with graphic organizers in an interactive notebook. So I got those things. For some science, I think I showed this already, that We have, I did get the Cosmos, this Space-Time Odyssey. This is the one that the series that just ended with Neil deGrasse Tyson. And my kids really enjoyed watching it, and they have a lot of bonus footage with this. And then I also got How the Universe Works because, mainly because Mike Rowe hosted it, and my kids are big Dirty Jobs fans. And so, and it covers astronomy in a great way. And the Wonder Twins wanted to really have a strong focus on astronomy in addition to our weekly science topics. So I got that for them. And this is Discovery Channel's Earth Collection, and it deals with Inside Planet Earth, What Lies Below, The Sun, Fearless Planet Earth Story, Sunrise Earth, Edge of the Atlantic, If We Had No Moon, and Faces of Earth, Building the Planet. So that kind of combines astronomy with our habitat study that we're going to be doing. And I'll show you some more things that I got in our habitat study as well. This is a Rock and Learn life science DVD. When I used to go to the library, we would get these, but I don't go to the library anymore because my finds would be so big that it just made more sense for me to buy stuff. Honestly, guys, like, I am not kidding. I would have such high finds because we would forget something. And, you know, I got so much stuff myself that we were kind of going, does this belong to the library? Does this belong to us? Because it wouldn't be marked. So, library's out. But this covers plants and photosynthesis, parts of a plant, parts of a flower and pollination, life cycle of a butterfly, characteristic of animal groups, plant cell and animal cells, ecosystems, genetic traits and adaptations. So this is really good for us. It's going to go along with our habitat study, and I got a lot of hands-on components for a habitat study as well. I didn't show them because honestly it's just a lot of stuff, like a lot of hands-on stuff, so it would just be way too long of a video. So but that's going to be part of that. Also, I got green children. My kids are really into recycling and stuff, especially Speedster. He does a lot with solar energy. He's actually a semi-finalist in a national program right now on some of his work in solar. So we do a lot. So I got this on Becoming Green, Growing Environmental Awareness. And it has the Car of the Future, Solar Energy, Saved by the Sun, Global Warming, What's Up with Weather, and Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. I actually like that the Silent Spring is on here because it's such a controversial issue with a lot of kind of conflicting science. So I thought that would be really great for him to be able to do a critical analysis study with that. I got America's National Treasures. This is for the Wonder Twins. It's part of their combining history and geography, U.S. history and geography. This is the Atlas collection. I got a Discovery Atlas. I got this for Speedster because since he's doing world geography, this covers South Africa, France, Japan, Mexico, Egypt, Russia, India, Australia, Brazil, China, and Italy. So that would be great. Planet Earth series. This is the BBC series. It is 550 minutes in length. And it just says Planet Earth as you've never seen it before. And I got this, and I was really excited about it. But guess what, guys? I went to the dollar store, and look what they had. This is a coloring book that actually goes with the DVD. Now, of course, I bought one, so I got to go back to the dollar store and get two more. But I thought that was really neat to have this, fun little quirky little coloring book to go with the series. Isn't that great? And what you find at the dollar store is just amazing. This is Atlas Uncovering Earth. It says Atlas Uncovering Earth ties together fascinating stories about region into one grand narrative. And so it talks about Great Rift Valley, Hawaii, and mysteries in the Mediterranean. So we're going to use this when it is appropriate for both the Wonder Twins geography and Speedster's world geography. And another thing that I actually got Wishbone because I think it's great. It's a great introduction to literature because we haven't done a lot of literature just because we've been concentrating so much on dyslexia and making sure that their reading was solid, that we didn't do a lot of literature. And I also don't want to shove things down my kids' throat because I want them to just enjoy the learning process. And I thought the Wishbone would be a great way to introduce them to some of the more quote-unquote classical literature. And then they can kind of decide if they want to do some more in it, listen to it as audiobook or what have you, or read some of the classics that we have here in the house. But I liked Wishbone as a kid. I thought it was great, so I got this. Another thing that I actually got that I don't have a video for because it's still in the process of being made was my husband actually backed the Kickstarter for bringing Reading Rainbow back online and in app form. And so what I actually have been doing is I have been buying some Reading Rainbow books for the kids. Follow the Drinking Gourd, The Shaman's Apprentice, When Aunt Lena Does the Roomba, Animal Cafe, Back at the Ranch. I got Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters as well. And so we are going to have all of the series, all 150 episodes of Reading Rainbow available to us as an app. And I think they're doing an app for both the iPhone and the Android, so we'll be able to have it on their Kindles as well as on the iPhone and our iMac, so they can watch Reading Rainbow. The Wonder Twins are actually, I'm going to try to get them to watch all 150 episodes. And again, this is something that sometimes people will look at it and they go, oh, that's for little kids. But they go through an entire book. They read really, really good books. They have good supplemental readings that are suggested as well. So I don't look at it as like, oh, that's for little kids. It's like, you know, my kids having more and more exposure to books that we would normally go and just pick up off the shelf for ourselves. Like when my daughter saw the episode of Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters, she was just fascinated. And I had never heard of the story. I'd never heard of the story before. And so she was able to see it, and she was like, can you give me that book? And so I bought the book. I ended up having to buy it twice because one time I accidentally bought it in Spanish. But so I had to buy the English version. But, you know, now when they learn Spanish, they can read Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters in Spanish. And then there was one on Salamander. And, of course, my the other half of the Wonder Twins, his nickname is Salamander. And so we got that book. I had never seen the book before, never come across it before. And so that's one thing that I love about having Reading Rainbow, having access to the Reading Rainbow series, is so that it can really introduce us to some books that we probably never would have even looked at. And my kids can experience them as audiobooks and visual audiobooks as well. So we don't stop reading just because we have reading difficulty. And for, you know, with dyslexics, an audiobook is the equivalent of reading the book. And the way that my kids do books is after they read a book or do an audiobook, they do an interactive notebook page about it so that I know that they understand. And then they also answer for me at times like Bloom's taxonomy questions about it. So I don't mind that they get a lot of their reading through audiobooks, or a lot of their book exposure and reading comprehension practice through audiobooks while we're still remediating phonics for them. So that's kind of another thing that we're going to be using, but I don't have anything to show because it's an app. And one day I'm going to take my Kindle and show you guys all the audiobooks that I have on my Kindle for the kids, because I have like literally tons of audiobooks that they just listen to all the time. So I like it because they still have that love of reading. Even with their reading difficulties, they still love books. And that's something that's really important to me. So I'm glad I've been able to help foster that love of books, even in spite of the difficulties that they have with reading and spelling. So, but hope this helps you guys see a bit of this haul. Oh, sorry, I'm bouncing my laptop. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments box below. Once again, this is Dr. J, and I'm out. Bye-bye.